Did you listen to the Hot Breakfast this morning? Here's what you missed.
When you talk about a former First Lady, you're calling her out, a woman of stature. And you're calling her out and saying, pay your taxes or else. I mean, come on. Is this what we've come to?
I'll go with two narratives. Jeff, me and you at one point were in this great republic called the United States of America. It was Benjamin Franklin who said, I mean, he was actually putting some words into the American Constitution. And to contextualize what he was saying is anything else you can get away with in the U.S. apart from death
and taxes.
So I think back home, I think, first of all, I would assume the government, they have a bird's eye view of who has done what or what is doing who. And I think probably somebody may have gotten it a little bit twisted, because in my own view, you cannot force people into taxation. What you can do, Jeff, me and you, and including the First family or the former First family, is to pay taxes as per the law. That is actually the bare minimum that is expected of each and every patriotic Kenyan. Every person who's earning must pay taxes. It is the law. Now, Jeff, I am not talking, and I said this, as I think last week, I am not saying we hurt anybody. Nick, whether it's a business, whether it's a thriving household that are making a lot of money, whether it is the former First family, whether it is the Kenyatas or the Mois, that is not what I am talking about, or I feel people should not be talking about pushing people into taxation, because people kind of get this feeling that people are going to be overtaxed. Nick, that's not what the conversation should be. The conversation that should be highlighting in this country is we must all pay taxes. That is the law. Now, whether you're going to, whether we're talking about the certain proposals within taxes, this one you should not be able to pay taxes. These ones are waivers, which I'm so against. Nick, I am so against waivers, because, Jeff, guess what? Me and you will never have tax waivers.
Right.
We'll never have them.
Yeah.
Because, hey, which door are we going to knock? We don't even know. We don't even have the number of the KRA commissioner to start calling them for tax waivers. And sometimes you hear tax waivers can come all the way from the head of state. The person who can pick up the call and say, hey, Jeff, what are you bringing in? Okay, I am. You have a tax waiver. Somebody can just easily. Me and you, Jeff and Nick, who are we going to call? So I have always been against tax waivers. In fact, I believe that's a kind of theft. Because whatever you bring in, you had somebody writing about Honorable Raila Odinga, and they said he dumped fuel that was actually on transit, and he owes KRA 322 million shillings. If that is the case, pay the tax. It is the law, and it's in black and white. So I don't think this furor is just pointing to a certain family. No, unless somebody is doing it and taking every other Kenyan into the folder that this person is wrong, that person is wrong, that person is wrong. But I heard the president yesterday saying in church that that is not what he was up to. All he said, first of all, he will not arm twist, or he will not send people to close businesses or hurt people, which was a good thing. But he said at the end of the day, he will not relent from pushing for people to pay taxes. Because again, we go back to what I told you, Jeff, not the common man who runs away from paying taxes. The people who are into deep code taxes, tax manenos, are the wealthy people, people who have means. And this is not a problem in Kenya. Jeff, you've seen how tax evaders do it. Yeah. Who in their right mind, me and you would, I mean, how much money do we have that you can jump on a plane to go and open an account in the Bahamas, in Geneva, in those tax havens? It's only the wealthy people who do it. So, as we are paying taxes, me and you, the next stage we expect government to do is to ensure that they ensure no loopholes are going to be within that tax system. The other thing, I think, which is of value and importance, is to ensure that we broaden, we cast the tax net widely, so we can bring in as many people into the tax bracket. Because what we are looking at is two things, is to ensure that we don't borrow or over borrow to spend. And Nick, to be honest, that's how you develop nations.
Tell me something, Gabriel. What's the end game with these rallies? You've seen them from Kamkunji to Jacaranda to Kibra yesterday. Next is Machakos. What's the end game?
Well, the truth of the matter is it's a handshake. It's a nusumkate. They can never produce anything else. And I've had people saying, well, we are waiting. We are going to force Ruto out of State House. Who told you this? Jeff, there's something called an affirmation of an elected leader. There are several facts that affirm that an election took place in this country. There are certain facts that affirm that a president was elected. And all the systems of grievances have been exhausted. All of them. The IEBC said this is the person who won. People went to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court unanimously said this is it. Now, from the word go, these are people who swore that, yes, if the Supreme Court decides this is it, that is what we are going to do. We may not like the orders of the Supreme Court, we may not like the outcome of the Supreme Court, but guess what? We are going to respect. Now, you've gone back and said, no, the man did not win, yet you cannot produce the facts that, you are alleging. Secondly, you're saying we are going to march into the State House and eject you. First of all, that's a security installation. You're going to be met with serious resistance. It can't happen. So these rallies, the only outcome that they can achieve is one and one only. Ensure that the president has been forced to the table of negotiation. Now, with Honorable Raila, this thing has happened twice. It happened in 2007 and it happened after 2017. Problem is, you are dealing with a serious macho president. And he said it more than once. There's no handshake. He does not believe in it. In fact, the farthest he has gone, Nick, which I think to me gives credence that he also wants peace, is to offer this that you're calling the office of the official opposition.
Correct.
I think, Nick, if I don't know who's advising Honorable Raila, I would have taken it because it gives me a platform. It gives me a platform to air my grievances. Sometimes I think it even allows me to come to the National Assembly and to come to the Senate. I mean, I would not ask for anything more, because whether we like it or not, there is not going to be another repeat election until 2027. That should actually be marked very clearly in all of us. Aim for the what? Aim for the stars, land in the moon. Is that what we used to say?
Yeah.
I think, Nick, that is what is happening. You're aiming there, but landing closer to where you're aiming is just as fine. And I think State House and a handshake and a nusumkate, the better. Because you are brought into the foray, you are brought into government. There's a certain level of respect for you and your foot soldiers. And I think that is what Honorable Raila and the people really going into these great rallies, that's what they hope to achieve. Because yesterday it went a notch higher. We saw what looked like a semi-militia group being introduced, and what they were talking about really was quite intense. They were saying, some of us know we are going to die, some of us know we are going to be arrested, but we have to ensure that Honorable Raila gets his win back and is installed as the country's president. Now, me and you know that is not going to happen.
It's not possible.
It is not even possible. Lightly. You had over 15, I think 20 leaders who came to witness the swearing in of a validly elected president. Nick, I think what is being preached here, and I've seen many people sometimes get intertwined in thought, is you have people that I've met who honestly believe that Raila won.
Believing and fact are two different stories.
Exactly. Jeremiah Kioni, even he himself, has numbers.
Right.
8 million versus. Probably somebody showed him something like what Githongo was showing us. It is very easy, Jeff, to believe in certain things. If some of these leaders, because sometimes all they see is the presidency, it's very to misdirect them. and actually put them in a fray where they believe that I had these numbers. You can actually convince Raila, I had these numbers. You had everything. You had the president supporting you. You had the state by your side. You had the intelligence of the country on your side. You won this. And when he looks at everything put in front of him, yeah. By the way, I don't judge Honorable Mother Karua harshly. She was told back to back, don't worry, go to sleep. Mambo mzuri. We are winning. And she went on to repeat the very same thing. This was not her talking. No. This is what she was fed. This is what she was told. And this is what I believe Honorable Raila has been, made to believe. So I think as much as they know of it as an impossibility, remember, Nick, Raila has done this twice, and it has worked. And sometimes they believe the third time is a charm. He will still continue pushing it. But sooner or later, Jeff, people will start getting wary. With time, people will start seeing that these maandamano will not take them anywhere. And that is what I'm afraid, because they may turn back to bring them to Nairobi, where you had an MCA from Korogocho saying that we must bring business to a standstill. I hope we don't get back there, but that's what I feel. These maandamanos, if they do not get what they want in the country,